la. Right. Yeah, they're going. Shall I spritz? Welcome back. Oh, welcome back. I just spray all my bandages. How are you? I am still tagged because they didn't come yesterday. I've made that a bit wet. They didn't come yesterday. So I am still in, however, they did come today and test me. So I've honestly, if I've got any nasal passages left by the end of this event, I have been tested so many times already, and it's going to continue every 3 days. So they're basic, and I keep getting a bit worried actually. I've gone straight into this. Sorry, I haven't done any casual bit. I've gone straight into what's on my mind. What is on my mind? Yes, what is on your mind is look. So what I have been doing in captivity is a bit of this, which I never gave you the graciousness to do on my last puzzle. I never actually gave you that good feeling of something actually working. I gave you bits in my last one. This is actually coming on a treat. It's cocking hard, Cloudberries. It's cocking hard. And because I've got various light issues in here, it's too shiny almost now to do it. I should have just done this earlier during the day. So the issue I have about testing is not that it's about testing, because I am very, very thrilled to be tested regularly. So I can get on a plane to go home at the end of it. But I read this horrendous thing where one woman had been tested and they jiggled the thing in her nose and they snapped the bit off and they punctured her brain fluid. They went too high. They've punctured her cocking brain fluid. Now, obviously, out of millions and millions of tests, that is a rare horrendous occurrence, but I can't unsee it. Do you know what I mean? I can't not see it. A bit like I now can't see the bloody pieces of colour because it's so shiny. But for regular JigJawers, I think you will, if you could see me and we could hug, you would be giving me a virtual hug, because you know that this is a pretty big feat for me to have achieved, to actually do some jigsaw. So what happened? So quite a lot's happened today, she says. Yet nothing. The voting is still going on in the Americas, just to give you some context of time, if you're watching this at another point when after I filmed it. So that's still going on, that's still not decided, and Trump is suing everybody. Rudy Giuliani is now out, just fizzing and foaming at the mouth. And actually, I haven't been able to sleep here for some reason, mainly because I think when you don't move, you don't seem to need enough sleep. You don't need sleep, it seems, because I have not been able to sleep. I should come out of this quarantine so rested, but I'm absolutely exhausted from not sleeping. And I think it's because your body goes, well, you're not really moving very far, so you don't need to sleep. Anyway, I'm very tired. But as I was going to sleep last night, I heard Rudy Giuliani on the radio, who was just so cross and shouting and saying it's all outrageous, and he was actually fizzing and foaming at the mouth. You could hear it. You could hear that his mouth was foaming. So I remember I've got a Twitter account, and it's like everything I do, I start and I go, oh, I'm a bit bored of that, I can't be bothered. Right, I won't with this though. I'm committed to JigJaw and eventually having guests. But I found myself going onto my Twitter account and writing to Rudy Giuliani and Donald Trump, saying something like, stop foaming at the mouth, just listen to yourself, you know where the bodies are buried, that's why you're looking after Trump now. Because it's like Trump has sent his last ditch attempt in, isn't it? Anyway, but I then deleted it because I thought, what? Shut up, Joe. I don't really understand. I don't even know who'd have seen my post. But also I was embarrassed for myself. I literally lay in bed embarrassed, going, shut up, stop it. And so I deleted it because it was so... I felt like one of those people. I was one of those people, one of those ranty. And it wasn't coherent, it wasn't clever. And I lost my own case. So by the time I'd posted it and worked out how to do it, I then deleted it again. Right, what's happened? Right, I've had some emails, obviously. I have also, because there are quite a lot of mirrors in this room, a lot in the bathroom, a lot in this room, I have, and I don't normally look in mirrors at home, which is probably explains a lot of what my look is like generally. But because I don't look in the mirror, this is completely shocking to see yourself in a mirror every time you walk somewhere. So I have actually found myself holding my jowls up on my face. I've actually clocked what I look like, and it's pretty old and it's pretty saggy. So I found myself doing that thing, holding up my face, wondering what a facelift would look. And I suddenly thought, I understand where Nathan comes from. Not that I could ever do anything to my face because I'm such a chicken, and I just don't want to look like one of those people. You know, those women can get a certain look, can't they? Where they, anyway, I've discussed this before, but yeah, I found myself literally holding my neck up, and because I've got, not only have I got those, I think I described the other day on my chest, I've got those rivulets that looks like a sort of various tributaries going down my chest now, joining into a ravine, but now around my neck looks like a turkey, looks like a little turkey neck growing. I don't know what's happened to me, but I suppose everybody else has seen that, but I haven't noticed it because I don't look in the mirror, which is why I've got really short hair, because you don't have to look in the mirror. It looks the same whether you look in the mirror or not. Do you know what I mean? You dry it and it looks the same. Anyway, so that's what's happening. It's been really busy, obviously, and I can't really tell Matt how busy my day has been, with the irony as intended, because all I have to do is put some bits on eBay for him, which I promised to do before I left. Put some eBay stuff on and organise a couple of other bits, and I haven't done it. I've done this. I've done this. And answered the phone to room service and housekeeping. So that's good, isn't it? We've got a lovely member of the team who lives in Abu Dhabi, called Badoo. We say Badoo because there's an amazing film called Lion, and the little lad in it, if you haven't seen Lion, watch it. Dear God, you'll love it. I'm telling you now. Anyway, the little lad in it's called Gadoo, and his brother goes Gadoo. Anyway, because obviously we say it in the same way. Anyway, saw him. He came to the room. He came outside today to say, socially distanced and everything. And I said, oh, Liz sends her love. And he said, who? And I said, Liz. And he went, who? And I said, Liz. He went, oh, me, Svenny and Gemma were wetting ourselves because Badoo has worked with Liz for years out here now. And because he's not in, he just went, who? Oh, God, it was literally gold. I knew, I wrote it down as soon as I came in. Badoo, Liz who? I wrote that down. Anyway, then he said, oh, Liz, of course. And he calls you Elizabeth, Liz. So apparently that's what he said. He said, oh, Elizabeth. So anyway, I just thought that he's given me gold. He's given me gold. Liz sends her love. Sorry, Liz who? Anyway, so that just gave me great joy. Also, what gave me great joy is Liz has been listening to these. Liz over in Brighton. She's not with us this time. So she's been listening, and her outrage, I mean, I was describing her new Rohan 3/4 length culottes, Scott from Scotland, admires them with all the pockets and a zip, so you can take an extra, you can unzip, depending on the weather, you can add a zip, so it goes to a full length, unzip, 3/4 length, unzip again, shorter, anyway, if you like that sort of feel and look. But her outrage was not that I'd said, her outrage was actually about the word Rohan, because, and I've got the thing here, they're actually called Trailblazers trail walking trouser, and they're actually, she said, they're not navy blue, they're called Blue Shadow. So you can all look at those now, you can all Google it, because you know what the Merrill Utility shoe looks like, but yeah, you've got to look up what they're called, Trailblazers trail walking trouser, Blue Shadow. They don't all have pictures of the zips, but they're zippable, pocketed, zippable. So that was her outrage, that she got in touch going, you're talking about my trousers. They're not Rohan, same material though, babe, and it's a real look. And I said, she said, how do you know I've got them? Well, first of all, you told me, but also because there's that look, isn't it? The Merrill Utility shoe, the 3/4 length, and the hairy, unshaved leg. It's the whole, it's classic. It's actually classic. Oh, bit of juice on my foot. So I don't know if you noticed, I quite casually have put a couple of these bits in. What is very exciting is because we've all been tested and I'm about to be released possibly tomorrow at some point, I can have guests around my jigsaw. So I've got to work out, the biggest decision today was where do I put this in my room to make this so I can get Gemma and the landlady of Hove actually around this. The landlady suggested on the bed, which I think I can only feel great things, can't you, about us lifting this up. Anyway, let me just check I'm recording. I love that you can see my shadow. It makes me laugh at the beginning when I whiz round, when I press play. Oh, I've dropped my bloody remote now. Hang on. There we go. I'm back. So Nathan in Australia, just for the Australians, he has chosen for the colour of him in his fake tan, he's chosen chestnut ochre for the fall. Chestnut ochre. So he's going to look pretty, again, like that sort of Georgian sideboard look. He's gone for a pretty intense colour. But to be fair to him, do what you like down there, nobody cares. Right, let's look at Eddie's email. So Eddie's actually Australian, but she lives in London. And she's a new subscriber. So she said, could you speak in Australian? Because she doesn't really understand fully. So she said, I've just watched the latest episode and I fear the Commodore may be upset with me when he watched. Commodore's always upset, right? He's always upset because he's got so many issues. Doesn't talk about, do you know what I mean? Don't worry about that. She said, when I said against the Commodore's advice, I meant he advised me against watching all of the past JigJaw videos, not that he advised against me isolating. Apologies for my badly worded sentence and apologies to the... Don't apologise to Commodore, Christ. That is a rocky road. The minute you start apologising to that man, then you've opened yourself up. So, yes, it did give the impression that the Commodore had, in fact, told you not to isolate, but that was much funnier. I thought it was much funnier, in fact, Eddie Spaghetti, that he'd banned you, but actually, because he's my biggest troll, I kind of, it's just outrageous that he's now advising other people not to watch these. Right, he's just meanwhile writing every episode, meanwhile watching every episode, has all his notifications switched on, ping, he hears it, right? Outrageous. But you know, that's why he's the Commodore. Do you mean he has that sort of elevated status and people seem to listen to him? But don't ever apologise to him. So no, I wouldn't do that. What else does she say? I'm actually enjoying the alone time. I'm missing my family, obviously, she quickly adds. Like a true introvert, being stuck in my flat gives me the chance to notice things about the block of flats. Is this an Aussie phase? Yeah, so you, like Nathan in Sydney, are also looking out your back window. It's a bit weird, isn't it? When I'm at home, I don't look out the back window, I just crack on. If not, it should definitely be said in an Aussie accent. Well, fortunately, I've already proceeded that, I'm already on it. I'm going to make this a bit bigger because I've gone against Claire from Beckenham's advice. I've turned this aircon off. As a result, my glasses are completely steaming up. There is one... Okay, so there's one window that's lit up in red, bright red, with a frost texture. Blimey, the level of detail. I'm not sure it's a Roscoe gel or perhaps stained glass paint, but it's very distracting and the only window in the entire block. Right, Roscoe gel, for those people who are not in the business of show lamps, lights in the theatre industry, you used to have colours on them. And you used to cut out a piece of plastic. It's called gel, but basically it's cutting out and you covered it across the colour of your light. Now, they're all quite fancy. They move, they change colour, la 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 la. But, ow, good God, what was I being so bold? That hurt. Yeah, so she thinks there's a bit of Roscoe gel on it. I'd love to know which room of someone's flat gets an entirely red window. I think it may be the bathroom, but I cannot yet confirm. The minute you can confirm, I know the JigJaw viewers will be on the edge of their seats. Right, the minute you confirm that there's a red window in the back of your flat, Eddie, I think everybody will be like, ping, when's the next episode? Ping, when's the next episode? Still no symptoms, and inshallah, bit of Arabic there, inshallah, none will appear over the next week. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on Love on the Spectrum. I love the puzzle. I love that the puzzle is separated into colours now. Very pleasing. Love Eddie Spaghetti. She didn't say love Eddie Spaghetti. She should have. She just said Eddie Spaghetti. I do. And actually it's most pleasing. And to be honest with you, I'm a bit gutted. If my test comes back, I'm negative to it, I'm going to be a bit gutted. It means I've got to leave it, and it is particularly addictive. And if you don't do JigJaw, if you don't do jigsaws, I think you should. I think everybody should do it. They're so. If you've got anything on your mind, you get totally distracted, which my husband will agree with. I'm very easily distracted. I go, oh, that's lovely. Let's do that. Yeah. Oh, ouch! Just trod on the pencil. Sorry. Okay, the landlady of Hove actually went to the pool today, has now been banned. The Speedos were too short, they were too snug, and no shaved legs. So everything nipped down there, got his little almond ice cream from the shop. The landlady then duly skipped down in Speedos, hair in bunches, because it's so long now, hair in bunches, Speedos, not shaved legs, banned. So I haven't been to the pool yet, and we can't really go now because the landlady's been banned. So that's a disaster. But the bunches apparently are a triumph. I've done that. The Tiger King of Croydon. Right, an update. If you listened before, ages ago, even if the Commodore advised you against it, you would understand that the Tiger King of Croydon became such a celebrity in Croydon because he was running around and stuff and laughing out loud and stuff like that. He actually had a statue put up, and in this episode, a couple of episodes ago, I mentioned that he's been chafing in his running shorts. I advised Sudocrem. Anyway, some cheeky little bastard's gone to the statue and sort of pulled the shorts that he's got on them really snugly, and is again cupping, so that even the statue is sort of reinforcing real life in Croydon. It sort of made me laugh, really, just even the thought that someone's listened to this and has gone out and put shorts on and then pulled them up tightly around his crutch. Right, how am I getting on over here? I'm touching, aren't I? Do you know the difficulty of this one? I can't do my normal churning now because I've got them all in pretty good areas for the colours, and actually because I'm aware of the trolling that I get from my puzzle, my technique, my talking, my everything about the half hour, I'm slightly tempering myself. Also, can I just say I'm glad I don't get the dislikes. I don't want anyone to do my dislikes, but I very rarely get likes, and it always makes me laugh that people listen to this and go, well, what was the point of that half hour, generally in their minds, and then they don't like it. And I realised that really made me laugh. That I was looking for the comments, because as I said the other day, the comments sort of get lost. But on my phone sometimes I see them, and sometimes I see them on the laptop, but they're not consistent. And I don't know whether I'm looking at them wrong, but I was really laughing when it says, oh, how many likes? It's like, I'd say I've done about 44 episodes now, and I'd say I've got about, over all of them, about 10 likes. So again, my dream of talking for a living while doing jigsaws is not going to fruit, is it? And on YouTube, to make any money, you need 1,000 subscribers minimum. All I'm trying to do now is get to 100. If you know, look, even if you've got children, right, and you've got their device, they don't even have to watch it, but you could subscribe them, couldn't you? Turn off the notification just to try and get me to 100. It's just my goal. That is my goal now. Right, so Nicole was listening, and I did see her comment, and I replied to it because I loved it so much. She said she was mid-solo drinking sesh, and the theme tune music came on. So she maybe Nicole, you had a notification and it started playing it, but my music came on to this, and she said that this was a gift. Now, what I've done is I've sent Nicole some optics so she can keep drinking. Some people say, oh, Nicole, maybe you need help. The Commodore he'll be trolling tomorrow saying, Nicole, we need to speak to her, she needs help. I have sent her drinking implements, because getting a message like that when she said this was a gift that was given to us, the best thing that's happened all year or something, from March, I'll take that, Nicole, over the cocky moon with that, right? Because everybody else pretty much has been pretty revolting. And these are mainly people I know. So you can drink, babe, as heavily as you like, as long as it keeps cracking out accidentally episodes of JigJaw. So hurrah for you. Hurrah for you, Nicole. Gemma is here, and she spoke to me in Welsh earlier, and she said something, or she said to me, well, it was in English, but her accent's pretty Paul Talbot today. And she said, oh, Julia, I'm going to give me nails done, and I don't know whether to give me nails done, I don't know, wait, nail bats on the road, and I can do it again. I don't know what she said. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the landlady if they had a clue as to what she said, because I felt a bit rude going, what? She went, yeah, don't get my nails done, it's around the corner, it's a massage, and it just went on. It went on, and she was absolutely through. Plus, it's through a mask. So, not that the mask is actually hindering me understanding, because I didn't know what the cock she was saying from the minute she opened her mouth to the minute she finished. But she looked absolutely thrilled with it, and it was a lot of questions. And you know when you get asked a lot of questions and you don't know what someone said, I found myself going, oh really? But also I realised there were questions in there. So I think I might be found out. And then Bianca's been in touch, and she's Canadian, and she said, like, again, listening away, fucking still eating granola, all the healthy stuff. I saw her, before lockdown, I saw her, and again, I wish that I ate granola and yogurt and looked like that, but it's not going to grow my legs, it's not going to grow my hair, it's not going to make me skinny. Well, maybe it would, because what isn't going to make me skinny is the butter chicken I just ordered from room service. Whereas what I should do is, from Bianca, get an eating plan where she tells me what to eat, I do it, and then be put on a stretcher. And then go, okay, not a stretcher as in hospital stretcher, one where they put your legs at one end and your arms at one end, and then they go, ee. Now, talking of Canadians, I have had a lot of emails worried about the gingerbread house in the winter, because Eddie, you've got a lot to listen to, but Hillary in Canada, her mum lives in a house made of gingerbread, and there were a few incidents, do you know what I mean? The stairs got eaten, they've had to make them much more robustly out of shortbread and all that. And they said, what happens to Hillary's mum's house in the winter with the gingerbread? So what they do is they absolutely, I got in touch with the state to ask this because I've had a couple of emails about it, they coat it and coat it and coat it in very, very strong icing sugar, which is reinforced. So if a little moose nips by and nibbles it, you can't eat it, but they reinforce it, so the icing sugar, it looks like icing sugar. They sort of dribble a lot down the top to make it look like the winter gingerbread house you can buy in Lidl. You know, the Lidl, you can buy the gingerbread house, it's ready to go. But that you make, and then, looks like you made it. But yeah, so they just, so for the people worried, it is super, super glazed. Bit sticky, I reckon. If it rains, does it? No, it must have something in it to stop the rain. Dribble some icing down the top, looks all Christmassy. But that glaze on the outside of the gingerbread apparently keeps it through the winter, which is incredible, I think. So that's good. I know that people were getting a bit worried about that. What other notes have I got? And Scott of Scotland has been in touch, and he said it's still raining in Glasgow. Well, we knew that. It's almost like you don't have to tell me. I know. I lived up there. When the sun came out, I was almost blind. So I totally get it, babes. Anyway, look. Gradient, Cloudberries is quite hard, but I'm going to have guests and we're going to chat over this. How many of these will be left by the end of that, I'll wonder. I love you. Look after yourselves. I don't know how many minutes I've done. It's probably short. I don't know. Who knows? That's why it's crazy. Lots of love to you all. Speak to you soon. Bye.